Welcome into the show, everybody, here at the Steven Singer Studios. My name is Marc Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show. Nick Sirianni tests positive for COVID. Danny Green out now in in COVID protocol. So much to get to on today's show, but let's start it off on the positive note. Jason Kelce and Darius Slay himself, get named to the Pro Bowl. That happened. The Eagles now have a Pro Bowl corner for the first time since Asante Samuel 11 years ago. How about that to celebrate? And Jason Kelce, regardless of what happens with this team, and I have high hopes for this team. I have such piping hot takes and such high hopes for this Eagles team with my wish list for the next year. Oh, my goodness. What I am hoping and what I am just praying for, Jason Kelce has a lot to do with that. But it's nice to see at least whatever and however this season ends, it's nice to see Jason Kelce at least go to yet another Pro Bowl. I want to start it off on that positive note because yesterday, Dan Orlovsky actually tweeted out the video of Jason Kelce making that block downfield. The one that Miles Sanders probably should have cut it to the outside instead of the inside. And Next Gen Stats actually said that Jason Kelce on that particular play ran at 16 miles per hour. Not too bad for the 34-year-old walking lower body injury, as I like to say. But Dan Orlovsky said, this guy's got to be a Hall of Famer, right? And my exact response to that was, yep, he's got to be a Hall of Famer. When you look at all Hall of Fame centers, you look at 3 Pro Bowls, 4 Pro Bowls, you look at all pro nods and all that, Super Bowl wins, success of the team during his era, all those things and more, right there, they follow suit with Jason Kelce. So in my mind, I have zero doubt in my mind that that guy will be in the Hall of Fame. I also have zero doubt in my mind that that guy could, forget about running for mayor of Philadelphia, that guy could be president of Philadelphia. Like Philadelphia would break off and become its own independent nation under Jason Kelce. I don't know what you would call us. Philadelphia, United Neighborhoods of Philadelphia under Jason Kelce. I don't know. I don't know what we call it. I haven't really brainstormed it yet, but that's where I think Jason Kelce is really headed in the not too distant future. But good for him getting he had another Pro Bowl, definitely deserving. Darius Slay has been electric this year. And I know that it's very easy to look at a corner and say, oh, he got beat on that play. And then we throw him under the bus. And then we make associations with other corners that have been here and failed, whether that be DRC, whether that be Nnamdi Asomugha, whoever it is. The Darius Slay is none of those guys. Darius Slay is legit. To steal a line from Shaquille O'Neal that he said about a totally different player, Darius Slay is the truth. Slay is the truth. As good as advertised. One of the best corners in the league. And this year certainly was an example of that. Getting into the end zones over, a 4-week stretch more times than his former team, the Lions, did? That's not bad. Blanketing wide receivers, breaking up plays. There's only about 2 or 3 plays maybe this season I can look at and go, ooh, Slay should have had that. And one of them actually just happened against Terry McLaurin, a guy that for the most part has had his number. Good for him. He was going up against Gilbert, who was fresh out of the bathtub, apparently, while giving his kids a bath. So there you go. And Darius Slay did a fine job this entire season. There are going to be plays where cornerbacks don't always come up with the big play. For the vast majority of this season, he has come up with some of the biggest plays of the year, if not the biggest plays defensively speaking, especially when you're talking about returning fumbles and interceptions for touchdowns. So it's good to see Darius Slay get into the Pro Bowl. You know, Slay was asked about this a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was last week. About what it means to him to get to the Pro Bowl. Does he think he has any competition? Here's how Darius Slay handled that question.
Who do you see as your main competition in Pro Bowl?
Huh?
For the Pro Bowl, who do you see as your main competition?
What you mean?
To get in.
I shouldn't have no competition to get in. That's the thing. Should be in there with ease, but you know. But we see how that go. You know how this world is, but yeah, that should be easy because it's by far one of my better seasons than I had in my other 2 Pro Bowls.
Let me try that again. There we go. Love this guy. He acted like there's competition. What, are you crazy? There's no competition for me. Also, early in the year, he talked about how you get a lot of free stuff at the Pro Bowl, so he really hopes he makes it to the Pro Bowl. And there he goes. He is at the Pro Bowl. He is a Pro Bowler yet again for the Philadelphia Eagles. That is just fantastic. Now, the other thing is the unfortunate thing here. It's the unfortunate news that we got yesterday. And that is that Nick Sirianni tested positive for COVID, and right now he's in COVID protocol. He is in quarantine at a hotel. He's staying away from the team. He's going to do everything virtually. I'll just say this. I don't think COVID's really ready for the positive energy that Nick Sirianni provides. Like, COVID is no match No match for Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni is just going to look at it and be like, all right, COVID, bring it. All right, rock, paper, scissors, let's go. Rock, boom, paper, see you later. All right, boom. Do you love ball? See you later, COVID. I'm coaching Friday. There's nothing you can do about it. That's just the kind of way in my idiot brain I figured this would play out with Nick Sirianni. So hopefully he's back for Sunday's kickoff against the Giants. It's a quick turnaround, so hopefully he can get out of COVID protocol sooner rather than later. Nick Sirianni addressed the media shortly after the news came out. Eagles announced the news via Twitter, releasing a statement just saying that Coach Sirianni had tested positive for COVID-19. He is now in quarantine. Here is Nick Sirianni with his first press conference after the announcement was made.
Yeah, wasn't feeling great this morning when I woke up and just got tested, and obviously we are where we are right now. I mean, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling a little bit better now, which is good. And then the rest of the week, I'll be in every meeting as if, obviously virtually, as if that every single meeting, every quarterback meeting, every offensive meeting, every team meeting, I'll be running those. And yeah, just business as usual.
So everything's going to be remote, much like many people still in the workforce and some people now again in the workforce working remotely. He said practice pretty much runs itself, so he doesn't really have to worry about that. He also said that the 2 games that they were given by the NFL, I'll put it nicely like that, 2 games that they were given by the NFL for pushing back the Washington game, thanks to COVID, they actually started prepping for the Giants already. Now we're looking at maybe Mike Glennon. We're looking at Jake Fromm. We'll see who starts that game for the Giants. But here's the thing. And we even said this on Monday. After the Eagles game got pushed back, and you were going to look at a quick turnaround, there's not many teams that you'd rather face than the New York Giants after a quick turnaround like this, because they are so god-awful. Now, you might say, I'll go back to this point again, oh, well, you said that a couple of weeks ago, and you lost to the Giants. Jalen Hurts played his worst game. Yeah, I am throwing all that out the window. It was one of the worst games I ever saw. Jalen Hurts had a terrible game. The Eagles offense had a terrible game. They're bouncing back in this one. The Eagles are winning this game on Sunday. Let me waste no time. Since, we got Christmas coming up here. This is our last show for the rest of the week. I'm telling you right now, we're off tomorrow. This is the last time, folks. I'm going to tell you this. The Eagles are beating the Giants on Sunday. I'm going to give you my official prediction at the end of the show, but I'm going to tell you right now, whether it's Nick Sirianni or his replacement on Sunday, and we'll get to that in a second, the Eagles are going to win this football game. Jalen Hurts, I thought, needed maybe a quarter and a half to shake off any amount of rust, and it's not like he was wildly inaccurate, made some bad decisions, obviously, but still played one of his best games as an Eagle. As long as he finished out that game strong, like he did, very strong, still one of his best games as an Eagle. We talked about the Denver Broncos game earlier in the season with Jalen Hurts, just to go off on this tangent for a second. And a lot of people say, the numbers in the first half. What about the second half? The second half of the football game sometimes shouldn't even matter if you executed properly in the first half. You should have the game in hand and not have to play that same aggressive style of football as the game goes on. This was a little bit of a reverse course. This was a little bit of a reaction to the team not playing well through the first half. And Jalen Hurts was the marquee guy taking him out of that hole, pulling him out of that. Him, Miles Sanders, finding Dallas Goedert going up, making a play for him. That was what you saw from Jalen Hurts that made you think, at least made me think, all right, this guy's got it. Any rust, I haven't played in 23 days, any ankle injury, whatever it might be, any difference in game plan, Jalen Hurts had it covered after about a quarter and a half worth of football. And that was after the horrific drop from Dallas Goedert and the turnover and all that. After starting out in the 10-0 hole, thanks to turnovers, one, of course, was Jalen Hurts. But as they go into this game against the Giants and they think about who the play caller is going to be and whether or not they're going to have Nick Sirianni on the sideline, the play caller is going to be simple. It's going to be your offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen. Makes sense. Nothing changes defensively. Jonathan Gannon, that's still his show. But as far as the head coaching responsibilities go in this game on Sunday, Nick Sirianni talked about the guy that is going to be replacing him if it comes to it.
Kevin Patullo, and we'll do all the, whether we're going for it on fourth down, different situations like that, the coin toss, this and that. The reason I chose the reason that I went with Kevin there Jamal Singleton will help with things as well. But the reason Kevin will be in charge there is because Kevin doesn't have a position to coach. Kevin helps with a lot of different aspects throughout the game. I want there to be as little change as possible. I don't want Jamal have to think about that during, while he's coaching a position. So Kevin's involved in all those conversations of, coin toss and going for it on fourth down, as it is anyway. So it's just a natural transition for Kevin to be able to do that.
Makes every bit of sense in the world. You might think, oh, well, why not Shane Steichen? Well, Shane Steichen's got to call plays. He's the offensive coordinator, so he's a little busy. Why not Jonathan Gannon? He's the defensive coordinator. Why not have him? No, this is the perfect plan. This is the way they should do it. I find no fault in Nick Sirianni and this plan going into it. I like that idea that he doesn't have his hands in anything else, so he can just concentrate on whether or not they should go for it on fourth down. The coin toss. Got a game plan for the coin toss. All that stuff. So I'm fine with this, other than the fact that your head coach obviously has COVID. Everything else seems like it's going to go according to plan. And the fact that the Eagles had those 2 days, and Nick Sirianni already admitted to, okay, well, we got 2 days here extra. We already game plan for Washington. We're feeling pretty good about it. They might not even have their starting quarterback. Yeah, I think we're okay. Let's take a look at the Giants real quick and see what's going on there while we have the extra time. And they use that time appropriately, which is a good move by Nick Sirianni. Speedy recovery to Nick Sirianni. Wish him all the luck in the world in getting past this as fast as possible. Hopefully he tests out of COVID protocol by Sunday. Now, what I would like to see in this game on Sunday, I would like to see Jalen Hurts play 4 full quarters of not having to play rescue football, but just playing steady, consistent football, and see his receivers make plays for him. Not kick a ball up that's going to all of a sudden turn into an interception and be a blemish on Jalen Hurts' box score. I don't want to see that. I want to see a well-run offense that executes properly, executes very well, just as well as they did in the second half of that game. And one of the things that I didn't get into enough yesterday, when I went back and watched the game again yesterday after the show, one of the things that really jumped out to me was, the poise throughout the game from Jalen Hurts was great. But in the drive after, it was a 3-point game. After Washington had that big play where actually it was Darius Slay, it looked like got beat for that, 25-yard play on a 3rd and 1, and they ended up setting up that touchdown to make it 20-17. After that play, after that drive, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense went back on the field. And I talked about how Stahl came up with a big catch for you. I talked about Greg Ward coming up with that great catch in the end zone. I talked about how Jalen Reagor actually made a big play for you on that drive, and all that was great. But the guy that was really making that team go, as he was through that entire comeback, and I hate to even call it that because it was so early that they were down, was Jalen Hurts. And the goal that was accomplished, as far as I was concerned, was Jalen Hurts separating himself from any negativity that surrounded him against the New York Giants. That game, I'm sure, that being your last game for 23 days, I'm sure is not a game that you want to sit and rest and stare at and have that as the last thing on your brain when you played football. And we can make the analogy a lot of times to like a closer in baseball, or a bullpen arm in baseball versus a starting pitcher. Starting pitcher, he has a bad game. 5 days later, I'll have to try to bounce back. A bullpen guy has a bad game, he can bounce back tomorrow. Jalen Hurts, I'm sure, doesn't want to have to sit around and watch that game or have that game on repeat for 23 days. He comes out against the Washington football team and helps his team engineer a not just a game-winning drive, a game-sealing drive. Not just a comeback in the game, but sealing that game with a perfect response to the Washington football team coming back to make it a 3-point game. He was accurate. He was crisp. He used his legs when he needed to use his legs to buy time for his receivers. He had a couple of good scrambles in his game, always got down whenever he needed to, never really took a big hit in this game when he was getting past the line of scrimmage. This was a perfectly run, especially second half of the game, for Jalen Hurts. And I know the numbers look great and all that, but I'm not so tied down to the numbers as I am just the way he's playing. It comes down to decisions that he makes. That's why it was so off-putting to watch the double coverage throw in the end zone, the corner of the end zone, trying to force it to Devontae Smith when he had the read closer to him with Kenny Gainwell. But everything after that was just perfection. Bad drop by Dallas Goedert. He bounces back a little bit later. Jalen Hurts helps the offense bounce back from that. I want to see just more of that. Easy execution, maybe even to the point where you see him rest in the fourth quarter against the Giants. not to tip my hand too much about the way I'm going to go with my prediction for the game on Sunday. But have my fingers crossed that this team just keeps on rolling from this point on and they make it into the playoffs. In the chat, before I get to you guys a little bit later in the show, I'm going to ask you this question. And it's a simple one. It's the one I was asking the ice skaters at the Rothman rink last week. What is on your wish list? If I could tell you in the next 365 days, your wish list, if I could tell you, oh, yeah, that's going to come true. Like, what's the thing that would make you the happiest? I have a list of 5 things that would make me the happiest, that if you told me this was going to happen, now all these are very, it's not like, oh, everybody wins the championship. No, it's not. Let's be more specific, folks. 5 things that would really make you happy. Like, if I told you this happened, like if you were, your phone wasn't on and I bumped you down the street and I saw you were wearing something, I don't know, a Phillies hat or an Eagles jersey or whatever. And I'm like, oh, you're a sports fan. Guess what? The blank just did this. What would make you the happiest? Specifically, is the Eagles winning a playoff game? Jalen Hurts solidifying himself as a starter? Ben Simmons getting traded? Joel Embiid just moved next door to you, and now you guys could play video games together. What would it be? What would it be? What would make you the happiest? What is the number one thing on your sports wish list? What would you most want that would most make you happy going into the new year? What would it be? So hit me up in the chat with what would you... I look down. I'll get it in right now. I'll look down. And the first thing I see is another weather girl on the show. Thank you, Luigi. Nice to see you. We'll get to some of that stuff coming up in just a second. I'll get to mine in just a second as well. Another thing. Danny Green is also in COVID protocol. I talked about that. He will not be in the game tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. That game is going on, as we referenced yesterday. The commissioner of the league, Adam Silver, told Malika Andrews of ESPN that there was no pause in the plans for the NBA season. So everything is going on as scheduled. Hoping that the Sixers can take care of business. They got a bunch of guys in COVID protocol right now, Trae Young being one of them. So we'll see if the Sixers can take advantage of a not as good Atlanta roster going into tonight's game. I would also find it interesting if Joel Embiid played tonight. I never want to see him rest. I always want to see him play every night. We all know that. But maybe this is a game where they rest the big man and figure they can put the win in their back pocket without it. We'll see. They've had some time off already. They'll probably get him going, but I wouldn't be shocked if he ended up sitting out tonight. So we'll check that out. Let me tell you about my good friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. How great is this guy? Christmas is Saturday. Steven Singer Jewelers fully stocked with the number one gift this holiday season, real diamond stud earrings. And you're almost out of time. Free shipping ends today. Go right now to IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com for the best value, real diamond studs anywhere. Choose a great pair of Anita Diamond Studs earrings for just under $270. And if that sounds familiar, that's the same price as last year. He's not jacking up the prices like everywhere else. Just the perfect price every single day. Steven's real diamond studs are flawless, near colorless to the eye, and come with his famous full value lifetime trade-in guarantee. That's the unbeatable 100-day guarantee. 100% money back guarantee. So you don't wait any longer. This is your last chance for free shipping. Go now to IHateStevenSinger.com and order by 2 p.m. Eastern time today for free shipping to arrive in time for Christmas. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. Here is my wish list. Use guys' wish list is really nice. I look forward to getting to that. But here's what I got for you. Oh, by the way, I didn't do this. And normally I do this because I take full responsibility for my dumbassery. The show started like 4 minutes late. 4 minutes late. And I don't know why. I wish I knew why. I don't know why. I have an internet problem. That's the only thing I can tell you. So we're up and running. So that's good. And I tell you that, and then I'm reminded of that because I had my list saved and I had to close out of it to restart the old computer. In no particular order, really, except, well, the number one thing is the number one thing. But here's what I got. Number 5 on my list is Joel Embiid winning the MVP. I really like Bryce Harper, but I have thrown out how lucky we are to have Joel Embiid. And people are like, well, Harper's an actual MVP. Duh. And I'm like, yeah, okay. How many playoff wins does he have in Philadelphia? 0. How many playoff appearances does he have in Philadelphia? 0. Yeah, I'm going to go with Joel Embiid. And that's not a slight to Bryce Harper. I want to see him carry this team in the playoffs. And yes, I know Bryce Harper is not the problem, but I do know he is part of the solution. So I'm not raining on that parade by any means. But when it comes to whom I'm more appreciative to, it's definitely Joel Embiid. That's who I am more appreciative to. So I would like to see Joel Embiid win that MVP award. To go along with, a couple of playoff appearances, a couple of the playoff series wins, which is also nice. And also an MVP award to go along with that. Please and thank you. That's what I would like to see in the next year. Flyers, number 4. Hey, I got a Flyers one on here, pal. Flyers win a playoff series. Now, some people are looking at the Flyers right now and be like, they're not even going to make the playoffs. I'd just be happy if they made the playoffs. To hell with that. I want the Flyers to make the playoffs. I want Mike Yeo to lead them into the playoffs. I want Claude Giroux and Sean Couturier and Carter Hart and all those guys to get piping hot. And Cam Atkinson piping hot. And I want to see them not only make the playoffs, but advance to the second round of the playoffs. And then, you know what? Anything can happen. Oh, anything can happen if you make the playoffs. Yeah, I understand that. I got more aspirations than that, and I think they can do it. I think they're a much better hockey team than what we saw in the last couple of weeks of Alain Vigneault. And plus, I'm not going to go to games anymore, so I'm not going to be there to jinx them, where I go to a game and then they lose 10 straight. So you're welcome, Philadelphia. That's at number 4. At number 2, number 3. This is one of the things that I have talked about many times with Devin Caney and Derek Gunn on the post-game show, and I didn't see it happening until recently. We've talked about how the Eagles now have 3 first-round picks thanks to Carson Wentz actually playing all the games and all the snaps. It's amazing. But we have kind of fished a wish to say that the Eagles will take 3 defensive players in the first round of the upcoming NFL draft. I don't think that's possible for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think they'd ever do that even if they were forced to actually pick 3 players in the first round. I think they would absolutely take at least 1 offensive player. But I don't think they're going to have 3 first-round picks. I think they're going to end up moving up in the draft and maybe have 2 first-round picks. And if they do, in fact, take 2 first-rounders, I do think that it's very possible that they could take 2 defensive players in the early goings. If you look at any mock draft, if you look at anything like that, follow college football at all, you see that there are a bunch of edge rushers available. There are a bunch of linebackers available in the first round of the draft, and the Eagles can certainly get a good defensive playmaker on this defense going into next year. One that we can look at and go like, oh my God, the Eagles took a defense. Eagles took a linebacker. Eagles took a defensive end. Oh my goodness. And then we'll all compare to Derek Barnett and Marcus Smith, and then we'll rain on that parade as quickly as possible. However, until then, it's very possible that the Eagles actually take 2 first-rounders on the defensive side of the ball in the upcoming draft. That right there is number 3 on my list, that they go defense heavy early in the draft. Do it, Howie. Please. Make us all really happy. Number 2 on my list. This is the one. This is the one that is most people look at and go like, get the hell out of here. Eagles won a playoff game. That's right. You heard me. I listen to these national pundits, former football players. I listen to these guys talk about the way the Eagles are running the football. And they showed the stat, and I want to make sure I get this right. I thought I had this up and queued. I do not, because I'm a big fat idiot, as I mentioned earlier. But they showed the stat during the game on Tuesday, which just feels dirty to say. Philadelphia Eagles, 7 consecutive games with 175 rush yards. 175 rush yards in 7 consecutive games. First team to do that since the 1985 Bears. First time in franchise history since 1949. World War II had just ended like a year earlier. That's how far back you got to go to get a stat like that. And when you listen to these former NFL players talk about the Eagles being able to run the football like that, it's like, what do you do to stop that? Lane Johnson, get around him. Nice try. Jason Kelsey, get around him. Nice try. Jordan Mailata throwing bodies around. And here's the thing. Those are just some of the 3 marquee names. Well, not even marquee names, because Jordan Mailata is not even a marquee name yet. He's paid like one and he plays like one, but around the league, not so much just yet. You look at these guys in the NFL and this offensive line and all the guys that they have rotated in, Jack Driscoll, Nate Herbig, Landon Dickerson, obviously, all these guys, Brandon Brooks being out, all Sue Opeta now being out or being in there. All these guys have come out and played extremely well. And I would have loved to see, and we could all play with a revisionist history game, but it's not even revisionist history for us as fans because we have simply looked at this team and go, why don't they run the ball? Like when they ran the ball just twice with a running back in the first half against the Dallas Cowboys. Huh? That wasn't fun to watch. Well, once they actually settled into this and realized how good their offensive line was, they really took off. And you listen to these ex-NFL players, look at how the Eagles are running the football, and be like, no one's stopping them. They can absolutely win a playoff game because how are you going to stop that in the playoffs? Defense is worn out. Defense is tired. Late in the game, the Eagles are just running the football down your throat, and you can't do anything to stop it. You got Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, maybe Boston Scott back in the lineup, Kenny Gainwell running for you. That's four people that can run the football rather well. And Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, I got to think of. I was thinking about it yesterday. What's the running back tandem that you really enjoyed watching like that? Like, do you have to go back to like Westbrook and Buckhalter? Like, what do you have to go back to? What was it, three-headed monster with Westbrook and Buckhalter and Dorsey Levens for 1 year, or Brian Mitchell for another? Like, that was some good times watching that football. Go ahead and stop us. I double dogged it. Deuce Staley, obviously, is another name in there. That was pretty impressive. Eagles can do that again. Go ahead and stop us. But here's the thing. What they're doing right now is even better than what they were doing back then when you talk about any other three-headed monster that the Eagles had back in the day. That is something that I want to see carry this team into the playoffs, along with Jalen Hurts playing a great quarterback position. Not just on the scrambles, not just on the runs, but making money throws like he threw to Greg Ward in the end zone. And he even said it after the game, putting the ball right where he needed to put it, where only his receiver could get it. That's what I'd like to see going forward. And the Eagles, I certainly think, not only will they make the playoffs, I think it's definitely possible they win that playoff game that they'll actually be in. And how great would it be? How great would it be to see that happen? Number one on the wish list. I hate to do it because it's so obvious, but I have to. Ben Simmons, traded. And not just traded. Actually getting an all-star in return. Actually getting that all-star that the Sixers have so coveted this entire time when talking about dealing Ben Simmons. I hope that it happens sooner rather than later, and I hope that they actually bring back that all-star, not caliber player, that all-star player back in return. Now, look, the official wish is Dame Lillard. Apparently that's not happening. There's other guys out there. Brandon Ingram, I would certainly be considering right now for the 76ers to bring him back in a trade. Bradley Beal's another name that we've talked about multiple times. As long as they bring back that all-star player in this deal, that's where I get happy. That's where I get excited. That's where I look at the next 365 days and go, all right, now we got something to look forward to with this Sixers team. Because right now, even when they play the Celtics, like somebody even told me, the Celtics are a 500 team. How are you excited that they beat a 500 team? Well, I'll tell you, because it's a division rival. It's a team that the Sixers have struggled against over the years. And the Sixers are, too, a 500 team right now. So if they're beating people in their own weight class, that makes me feel a little bit better about the future. But overall, when I watch the Sixers, and this has nothing to do with COVID, it has nothing to do with guys missing time, it has nothing to do with Tobias Harris still saying he feels sluggish or anything like that. When I watch the Sixers right now, tell me if you don't see what I see, an incomplete team. That's what I see. And that also might be obvious because you know they're incomplete because they don't have their three-time All-Star point guard playing phenomenal defense, being a good facilitator, and yes, missing free throws and not taking shots. We all know the other realities of his game. But they don't look like a complete team. Tyrese Maxey has helped fill that void, certainly, especially with his scoring. But they still look like they need somebody else. They still look like there is something not there, and that something not there is the return for Ben Simmons. And we're all past the point of Ben ever playing for this team again. Both sides are dug in, and it just looks like the Sixers are going to be in a spot where they just need to bring back that talent level to fill that void. Whether that's a good split of offense and defense, whether that's just a scoring dominant type player, whatever it might be, they are missing a huge piece to their puzzle. We talked to Michael Kasky-Blomane a couple of weeks ago that said the ceiling for this team is still a possible Eastern Conference Finals appearance. I don't see them being that good. I mean, if things would really have to go right for them throughout the rest of the Eastern Conference for them to make it to that spot. But if they bring back that all-star player, yeah, then you're talking about making an Eastern Conference run. Then you're talking about getting back to the spot that you were at a year ago where you were going to be a contender to make it to that Eastern Conference Finals. Unfortunately, the team that they face tonight is the team that knocked them out in the Atlanta Hawks, and hopefully they get a little bit more revenge, a little bit more sweet revenge on the Atlanta Hawks. So we'll see how all that plays out. That's my wish list. Joel Embiid, MVP. Flyers win a playoff series. Eagles draft 2 defensive players in the first round. Eagles win a playoff game. Actually getting an all-star for Ben Simmons is on my holiday wish list. That's what I'm looking forward to in the not too distant future. All of that I see is very possible. Not just possible, but plausible. Can actually happen. On another note, I didn't want to put it on here, but honorable mention that we don't have to shut down stadiums again in Philly. I would never tell anyone to not go to a game. I know we've had bad teams and we've experienced bad teams. I would never tell anyone, don't go to that game in a boycott or a protest or anything like that. Go to the game, create that memory. Even if it's one where you're talking about the team suck. My first Sixers game was the Clarence Weatherspoon, Jeff Hornacek led Sixers. Like, that wasn't exactly the best era to watch, but I'll never forget it. Sixers lost. I got blown out by the Pistons, but I'll never forget that experience. I'll never forget going to the Spectrum with my dad watching that game and thinking it was just how incredible it was. I would never tell anybody not to go to a game, even if the team really sucks. It's your team. You got to stick with them. That's how you go. Still boo, still criticize. More on that later, by the way. But still create that memory. Would never tell anyone not to go. And I would hate to just take that away from people. I hate for us to get to a point where we have to take that away from people to protect this as a society for what we're going through again right now. So the honorable mention would be, I'd be very happy to hear that we didn't have to shut down stadiums, to shut down fans out of the stadium, shut out fans of the stadium with Omicron and all that stuff. So let's hope for that. Let me tell you about our good friends at Rothman Orthopaedics, who brings us that fine wish list. Rothman Orthopaedics, do what I do, folks. Trust Rothman Orthopaedics. They are fantastic. When you have an orthopedic issue, you need a physician who eats, sleeps, and breathes orthopedics. You need an exceptionally specialized Rothman Orthopaedics physician. They not only specialize in orthopedics, but each of their physicians only focuses in on one area of the body, which means you can have the confidence to get past the pain and be what you were. Visit them in one of the 30-plus locations in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, including 4 orthopedic-only urgent cares. Learn more at RothmanOrtho.com. That's RothmanOrtho.com. How about BetQL? If you want to get advantage over your sports book, you need to download the BetQL app. You'll need to make the smart bets with BetQL. Their best bets computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports. And they give you the reasoning behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything from point spreads, over-unders, player props. And if you don't want to use their model and prefer to do your own research, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your betting research needs. They are fantastic. They have everything from sharp data, line movement, team summaries, lineups, injuries, breaking news, even a leaderboard for you to track your own success. Head to the App Store or Google Play Store now to download the BetQL app. Oh, how about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia's sports fan experience? That's what they're enhancing through social media and blogs. Make sure you check them out for all your Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, and Phillies news at Philadelphia Sports Nation, PHLSportsNation.com. If you haven't downloaded the WinView app yet, what are you waiting for? The only game where fans can take on other fans and end the debate once and for all. Who's the biggest and most knowledgeable sports fan? If you have those friends and family members who think they know everything about sports, play them in a WinView contest and see if they can walk the walk as well as they talk the talk. If you want to break up the monotony of family dinners and get-togethers, play a quarter of Monday Night Football. Play a little Thursday Night Football. It's a perfect way to add an extra layer of competition to your fantasy football league. While you're tracking the games on Sunday or throughout the week, make sure your players are killing it. If they're not, hop on WinView. Challenge a friend to a contest. It's not a sports book. It's not daily fantasy. It's a social gaming app where you can win real money prizes for making predictions on the games that you love. I think the over on Seth Curry tonight might be a good bet to make. So make sure you guys check that out on WinView. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show, the chat check. Let's jump into the chat and see what the good people of Philadelphia are saying. Happy holiday. Oh, we said that. Very nice of you, PJ. Happy holidays to everybody from the Farzy Show. Merry Christmas to everyone but Michael Keith Sealski. Wait a minute, Benny. Do you know for a fact that's Mike Sealski's middle name, Keith? If it is, that is news to me. Dan Schwartz, good morning. So other than weed, what's on the wish list? Happy holidays, PJ. Dan, you're very nice. Mark, you too, I guess. Thanks, Dan. Checkers. Dante says checkers. Checkers is always on my holiday list. Not like I've talked about, like, I'm going to eat so much fish tomorrow for Christmas Eve. Maybe I will go burger. Maybe I will go Big Buford burger today. I haven't had fast food in a while. I'm due. I don't like to go more than like a month and a half without fast food, at least once. Yeah, maybe I go Big Buford today. I think Checkers should be a sponsor of the show. We should make that happen. Betty says, good morning, everybody. Morning. Dante, PJ's list is scary. He favored it almost every time on Mayfair, I heard. What, Mayfair? It does say Mayfair. Dante means Wayfair. Mayfair is something, it's a section of Northeast Philadelphia that, just for the record, I got hammered in many times. The Mayfair Diner, man. Good times. I think that's closed now. I think they closed the Mayfair Diner. Anyway. No, my friend used to work at a bar called Tio Pepe, and we used to get some free drinks, so we'd go there. It was a Portuguese bar, and I'm not Portuguese, and I was one of the few people in that bar who was not Portuguese. Anyway, so I got free drinks, and then I go to Mayfair Diner and have a good time. Dan says his wish list would not have to go to work. Good. Luigi, definitely weather girl. I got you. Benny, to remove Sealski, how dare you? I would like to decide that. I will let you decide what that means. Thank you, Benny. Dante, nice to see you. Mike Fuji, Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all. Be safe. And Marc, hey, what's up, Fuji? Thank you. Same to you, buddy. Jason saying, God bless all. That's nice. Benny says everything to everybody. That's great. Kelsey for mayor. I'm saying president. I think we go president. Jason Dante is now issuing challenges to John Cheeseborough. We need some fire isms for the holidays. John saying, I said Sanders should have cut outside. Yeah, I agree. Somebody disagree with that? In honor of Miles Sanders not having obvious and situational awareness, Miles Sanders didn't know that the clock stops running if he got out of bounds. Dan, yay, Eagles, misses yesterday's show. Daughter would say, oh, sorry to hear that, Dan. Had to decide between taking care of her or the show. Tough choices. Tried to make the decision. They said, Farzy, I couldn't though. Sorry, man. All right. Well, I hope your daughter's feeling better at least. Miles didn't know that if you press the power button, the TV will go off. Oh, that's nice, John. Wishing Dan's daughter well. Rocco, what's up, Rocco? How you doing? Did the Penguin make the Pro Bowl? Penguin got snubbed. Yeah, Penguin got snubbed for the giraffe at the zoo. I don't know. Miles Sanders didn't know once the roller coaster goes to the end, you don't go on again. Benny, Rocco's Modern Life. Wait, is this just because we got a Rocco in here? Hey, yo, Rocco. Dan, Rocco is Modern Life. All right. I never watched that show. My cousin raved about it when we were kids, but I never watched Rocco's Modern Life. Miles Sanders didn't know you're supposed to look directly at CT stuff. God bless you, John. Kevin Petullo, who's going to be filling in for Nick Sirianni on Sunday for as the head coach, possibly, does make sense. That's right. Okay, good. We're all on the same page here. Who the bleep is Kevin Petullo? He's a lunch aide at your local high school. I may need to come on more, John. I'm loving these. I used to be a regular daily. Then the schedule changes. I'm sleeping until 8:30, so I'm pod fam. Benny, what's up? Welcome back. Tell that schedule to go to hell. I'll say this. Is anybody else feeling like just out of their minds this week? Like a combination between Christmas being on Saturday and the Eagles playing Tuesday Night Football. My mind is blown. I have no, is it even Thursday? What day is it? It's Thursday. Thank goodness. But like, I am like in some kind of like time vortex. Like it is crazy, man. Anybody else having that thing right now? Because the Tuesday Night Football just blew your brain. April, what's going on, April? Nice to see you. Is April okay? Says Trent. I believe she chimes in later in the chat here. Miles Sanders didn't know Mike Sealski was an awful person. John. It's like I picture John writing that. I'd be like, I don't even think this is funny. It's just I like it. Like which is what makes it funny. Mike Sealski is the reason the sun goes away early. Mike Sealski is the reason people are divided on sports. Here's Benny's wish list. My wish list. What will make me happy? Sealski is shifted to a local news in New Mexico or Kuwait. Oh my God. All right. Mike Fuji on his wish list. Eagles draft and pick up some big free agent signings. All right, I'm into it. Luigi, Mark Zumoff returns. All right. I love Zoo. I think Zoo is really enjoying retirement. And I like Kate. I think Kate Smith does a really good job. But yeah, it's nothing. I mean, it's Zumoff. Nothing beats Zumoff. Eagles, solid answer at quarterback, an aggressive defense, a defensive coordinator, a defensive playmaker at each level, another playmaking receiver. John, that's not a bad wish list. Luigi, Ben Simmons to give a deposition under oath. Luigi, that's pretty good. Sixers with a resolution to Ben Simmons saga. John, yep, we're all there. Sealski admits he's Howie Roseman. Dan, Luigi, 4, get ripped with you, Farzy, and go to Checkers. Now, when you say get ripped, are you saying let's lift weights? Or are you saying let's get hammered? Or are you implying what everybody else implies, which is just I get stoned when I'm not doing the show? Luigi, free the kids from PJ. That's nice. Jason, deposition under oath. Laugh out loud. That was a good one. That was really funny. Craig, what's going on, man? They are on it. Everybody's on it in this chat right now. Philly, some serious starting pitching. This is from John. Bullpen pitching, Aaron Nola, gone. Left fielder and center fielder answers. Let's hope for that. If I have 6th wish, it's to make Sealski removed from the local beat. Language, Farzy. What did I say? Did I say a naughty word? Anyway, Mike Sealski is the equivalent to the Penguin. Dante, if my wife starts being annoying, I snap my fingers, you appear, and just ism her to death. Ooh, that's a good challenge for John Cheesebro over there. If you guys watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, one of the latest episodes was Leon being a house husband, meaning like if you were having an argument with a pest control guy and he was going to charge you $1,000, Leon would come over and be like, "Oh no, man, you're not doing that. You're not doing $1,000. You can do $700. All we need is some bug traps or something." I could picture John Cheesebro being the house husband and just isming your wife to her great annoyance. Let's see. Luigi, Chris Long, Zach Ertz, and Malcolm Jenkins return next year and take us to a Super Bowl. That's a good wish. Jason, what's going on? Don Vito, what's going on? Did you guys see Carson Wentz story? Which Carson Wentz story? I did not see any other new. I did not see anything new. It's down. I'll try to find it. Oh, give me Aaron Andrews. All right, Ross. Who wouldn't want Aaron Andrews? Don Vito, I want Jordan Mailata to sing me lullabies. He should sing the Farzy intro. One of my brother's really good friend, one of my good friends now, Chuck, he always likes to say, he'll actually sing the intro to this song. Or to this show. I'm like, that's really beautiful. Ask Freddie Mitchell. No thanks. Greg Lewis, Greg Ward. I'd rather him under oath in deposition. Yeah, okay. Greg Lewis all day. Mark, bless your heart for thinking we get anything more than a pack of gum and a rack of basketballs for Ben Simmons. April, I know we can all hope. Joe Thomas, Flyers trade Giroux for a sniper. I don't see that happening. Want Matisse to be around for. I want Matisse to be around whenever I'm sad. Matisse Thybulle's pretty awesome. I heard on the Boston broadcast they were calling Matthias. That's way off. David Hasselhoff. What? All right. David Hasselhoff isn't in the chat. Somebody just referenced David Hasselhoff, and that's fine. I saw Knight Riders on Netflix now. Maybe I'll check that out again. It's going to be a show that I just remember too much from my childhood. What the hell? No, there. I just confirmed it. Twerking penguin is gold. Thank you. Second that emotion for president. Matt Snell, you're a crazy man. JD, what's going on? Pots and pans. That is our chat today. Tim wants to know, you don't check Twitter comments at all watching? No, not really, unfortunately. There we go. Thanks, everyone, that participated in the chat. You guys are awesome, as per usual. I assume, is there, PJ, is there a reference to the Carson Wentz story in here? Somewhere? Can I bring you on, PJ? Are you fully prepared to come on? Is the mic not working? Go ahead and get the mic set up. I want to make sure I don't miss out on this. Because one of the things that drives me crazy is, like, if I get done the show and then I'm doing something else an hour later and I see a story and I go, wait, what the hell? And then I go, well, how did I not get that involved? What the hell? Why am I such a big fat idiot? Seeing the weather, I see more weather comments than I do for anything else. There we go. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Much obliged. PJ's getting set up. Twerking penguin request? All right, well, it is the Christmas show. So while PJ's getting set up. All right, you ready, PJ? All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, producer Jim. What's going on there, PJ?
You've seen it. It's the Matt Judon. The Matt Judon attacked his ability to reproduce.
Oh, he did?
Well, that's what they got into, like a heated argument afterwards, and Wentz was trying to use all, dude, like you hit me in the nuts, and Judon was like, nah, I'd never do that.
Is that why he was so pissed off during the game? Yeah. That was over reproduction comments?
Yeah, it was. So, I mean, hey, you get a low blow on the football field, and sometimes you need to respond.
See, but here's Carson Wentz. If I'm Carson Wentz, well, first off, Carson Wentz probably has a picture of both his kids. He's got, 2 daughters in his, play thing. So it's like, no, look, I've done it already. I got 2. I got 2 of them.
Well, I mean,
that's the end all be all to that one.
I feel like if we asked someone like Hugh or Trey, it's commonplace, man. There's a lot of grabbing and twisted and hitting all over the field.
That's a very good point. Hey, PJ, thanks for all you do, and Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas to you and everybody in the chat, even though I probably shouldn't wish them a Christmas. So.
I don't even know how the Wayfair stuff started, my friend, but you're a good sport. You're the man. Thank you so much.
I tried.
PJ, ladies and gentlemen, there he is in the flesh. Much appreciated. That was our chat check. Let's jump into our morning rush, brought to you by Sky Motorcars and SkyMotorcars.com. I can't believe, well, yes, I can, because I know our city. I flashed this up during yesterday's show. And next thing I know, I'm seeing people comment about it. I'm seeing people put up poll questions about it. Oh, my God, should we be allowed to boo at a sporting event? Hell yeah! This isn't even a question for me. We talk about Wayfair on this program. Everybody gets something from Amazon nowadays, right? Everyone does that stuff. If you get a product and the product is broken, do you just go, oh, they tried really hard, so I'll just have it? No! You voice some kind of complaint, and hopefully you get something better in return. If a sports team you're watching isn't performing up to what you paid for, you have every right to voice your dissatisfaction. You have the right to boo. Quite frankly, you should boo. Absolutely, you should boo. There are lines you can't cross. Like, for instance, I know a lot of people were making fun of LeBron James because he was he had those 2 fans thrown out of the arena a couple of weeks ago. And those apparently those fans were talking about his kids. Like, apparently, one of them said, Bronny, I hope Bronny gets in a car accident. What the hell? Get the hell, you're sitting next to this? No. Nobody should have to hear that. The racial stuff the John Morant's family have to go through in Utah, no way that's appropriate. A fan in Philly dumping the popcorn on Russell Westbrook, Absolutely unacceptable. Oh, it's only popcorn. It's not. Who gives a damn what it was? The lack of respect for a human being. Yes, I know they're a player. Yes, you could root against them. Yes, you could boo them. But anything outside that is too much. Cleverly trying to get in somebody else's head. Okay. There's been fans that have written poetry to try to get in fans' heads, or excuse me, in players' heads. That's all acceptable. But when you cross the line talking about kids, family, race, physical contact of any kind, whether that's you physically touching somebody or physically throwing something at somebody, unacceptable. Booing, absolutely not. I will not go through life in an attitude of, oh, everything's okay. It's fine. Oh, but that thing you ordered is broken. No, okay. No, you don't do that. A team you paid good money to go see, at least give you effort, isn't putting that forth? Oh, no. Hell no. Absolutely not. A player you've been on and supportive of, like Marc Fultz even pointed out a couple of weeks ago when he talked about how Philly fans cheered the hell out of him when he hit a 3 in a game. Oh, yeah. When you feel like you're working with a player and you've been rooting them on, I always go back to Pat Burrell's sub 200 season where the fans stuck with him that entire year, no matter what, trying to support him. And other athletes, like I just mentioned with Marc Fultz. Philly was great with Ben Simmons. Great with Ben Simmons. What other fan base would give a damn enough to give a standing ovation for a made three-pointer in an exhibition preseason game against the Guangzhou Long Lions? Tell me we didn't support Ben Simmons. Get the hell out of here with that. And then he puts forth the effort that he put forth in that Game 7. Everybody knew what was going on. Foul shots not improving, not coming up big to the detriment of the team. Yeah, people are going to let him hear it. And by the way, if Ben Simmons came back this year without any of the off-the-court drama and played and was playing well, everyone would be back on the bandwagon with Ben Simmons. But after everything that came out over the summer, that was going to make it a lot more difficult. But as we talked about with Barstool Smitty, our man Smitty, if we talked to him after the Ben Simmons thing, which we did, he talked about, Donovan McNabb threw up in a Super Bowl and came back. I think Ben Simmons could have come up from a horrible decision, and if he played well, the fans would be right with him again. And probably fans at the stadium themselves would be right with him again. If he addressed the media a couple of times by this point and talked about going into the season, addressed the media a couple of times, exit interviews, whatever, and was saying, I got to work hard, I got to do this, I got to do that, and then came back and actually did it, the fans would be all about it. And unfortunately, that's not the case. But fans absolutely have the right to boo. And I don't want to go to a game thinking I got to be at a tennis match or a golf outing. I'm going to go to a game, because it's what makes us. I don't know. It's what makes us unique is that we demand effort, we demand excellence from our players, and if the effort isn't there, everything else falls apart. Sometimes players can give less than 100%, but we just tend to like them because they're really good, and that works out well. But when you have guys like Bryce Harper, that's a combination of really good and very vocal and very intense, it makes it real easy. Fans going to a game with the expectation of, oh no, just sit there and politely applaud. And if you cheer in an English accent, like that is, no, I don't want to be a part of that society. God bless you all. So I saw that kind of start to go viral a little bit yesterday, and it happened shortly before our show went on live with Miles Sanders putting up this tweet saying, "Stop booing the players. We put our heart and souls into this." Sometimes we don't believe you. And sometimes we feel like we need to hold you accountable for it because we're not seeing the proof in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Sixers in action tonight against the Hawks. Hopefully Joel Embiid. Hopefully it's a full roster tonight, as much as it can be with anyone who's healthy and available. And hopefully the 76ers get a nice little win. Like I said, I think I saw last 21.5 was Seth Curry's over-under. I'm definitely going to be taking the over on WinView tonight for Seth Curry's point total. So hopefully that looks pretty good. Brett, that's a good point. Seeing guys prime wasted. Yeah. There you go. Folks, let me just say this. Going into Christmas, going into the Seven Fish, I do the Seven Fish with my family every year and all that stuff. It has been just an awesome run for this show so far, and I have enjoyed every second of it. And of all the things on my wish list, one of them absolutely came true, which is seeing the show take off the way it has, and you guys in the chat being who you are and adding to the show the way you do and being a part of this is just extremely appreciated by me, by Jim Hyden, Josh Weinfeld of Buzz Sports and Entertainment. You guys have been fantastic. You guys are part of the best Christmas gift that I could ever get, and I really do mean that wholeheartedly. And I'm really looking forward to the holiday itself. It sucks that it's on a Saturday. Like, can we just say that Christmas should never be on a Saturday? You know, that's just how are we supposed to get the extra days off if it's on a day we're off already? Yeah, that's ridiculous. But going into Saturday, going into Christmas, I just wanted to make sure and wish all of you a very happy and healthy Christmas. We'll be back with you guys on Monday. My official prediction for the Eagles-Giants game coming up on Sunday at 1 o'clock with Nick Sirianni or without Nick Sirianni, with Petullo as your head coach or not. I think the Philadelphia Eagles will blow out the New York Football Giants by a score of 37-13. 37-13. That's what I got for the Philadelphia Eagles. 37-13. They get the victory over the Giants. But again, thank you so much, guys. It warms my heart that we have so many people that are a part of this show. Thanks for letting me know there was still an audience for me. And damn you, Marc Zumoff, for not letting me move to Italy and start this show. But it was worth it. Thanks to Jim Hyden, who produced the program. Thanks to all the guys that work so hard. My list will be up on our social media accounts a little bit later. And today, I promised yesterday, but with the Sixers game going on today, better time to put it out there. I'm going to put out the web show I did with Rothman Orthopaedics, with Alex, their amazing marketing person, and also Dr. Stash, about you weekend warriors, what you can do to help prevent injuries and also bounce back from injuries a little bit sooner rather than later to get you back to being you and being a weekend warrior. Plus, side note, how to win courtside tickets to Sixers and Clippers. Courtside tickets. Listen to the podcast. You watch the web show. You give it a follow. You could win. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you know how you can do that a little bit later in the show. Thanks for everything, everybody. Everybody in the chat. PJ, Josh, Brendan, Nick, Ellis. Who am I missing? Billy, everybody. You guys do a fantastic job. Thank you so much. Have a great, wonderful, beautiful Christmas, everybody. From the Steven Singer Studios, I'm Marc Farzy. Merry Christmas, everyone.